Hey guys, PhoenixReborn here once again. We've got the match between Alantor and myrdal. The human team versus the dark elf team. With me in the commentators box right now, we have Desmond, Slightquills, and Varen.
Hello.
Good time zone.
So, the dark elves getting the ball first.
I feel like that's an important move to make, especially since this is probably the only time the Dark Elves are going to have all of their players on the field.
Indeed. Also, totally being unprofessional and eating during my recording.
I like the blitz on the sideline here.
Ooh, is there
the back opens up the side?
There was a blitz on the
linemen
sideline.
To mark. You have to expect the retaliatory blitz from the blitzer in the midfield from the human player, though.
The human ogre on the right side of from the dark elves' perspective, and the dark elves blitzing
Unmarked.
on the left side.
Unmarked. Only one player nearby.
But yes, the dark elves appearing to try and avoid the ogre.
Go
Smart
figure.
play.
Yeah, mighty blow against that low armor is not going to do things that are good.
Absolutely not.
Actually,
Tries to pick up the ball
they
and
have
fails.
average armor. Oof.
Rerolls the failed pickup.
That might not have been a good reroll.
Does secure it.
But he did secure it, so that's
Early
good.
reroll usage. The blitzer on the sideline here easily can get into base contact, though, with a simple block if reinforced. This is only a lineman. A 1 dice isn't unreasonable. Skull
Rolls the
center
1
goes
die
down,
block
no
in the
reroll.
middle of the field. Gets a skull.
That actually frees up the ogre a lot.
The
That
human
lineman
team
in the
has
center
a
can
lot
move
of
to
free
mark.
players here.
Unless he rolls really stupid, that ogre can do things.
And Alantor using his first of 2 rerolls in the very first turn. That leaves him with only a single reroll for 7 turns in this first half.
He's definitely going to have to play it a little bit safer from here on out.
Definitely.
Ogre's been a good boy.
Ogre is indeed a good boy.
Only marks 1 player, though.
Too bad it didn't blitz, but that's probably a good idea that he didn't.
You get the 2 dice with block from this blitzer here now, but I'm not sure I would have committed the ogre to that. I would have moved the center lineman into mark both the downed elven lineman and standing elven lineman, and I would have ran the ogre through to mark that same lineman that they're marking now and the lineman on the elven side close.
Human lineman marking 2 dark elf linemen on the right side of the field from the dark elf's perspective.
So where Baldric is currently, that's where you say the ogre should have gone. Correct?
1 to the side to mark both standing linemen.
Ah, okay.
Wanted the 2 dice, clearly. Now pushes the lineman off of the ogre. See, this is why I wouldn't have committed it. You want that mighty blow coming down as often as possible against these armor 8s. You have block. It's a safe block. I wouldn't reroll.
Yeah, I push and go forward. There you go.
The blitzer pushing himself off the line.
Yeah, there's still danger to be surfed, but at least he's safe right now.
Yeah, being surfed this early would not be good.
I mean, there's still a danger of being surfed. It's a 1 dice to push in front of the lineman and then a 1 dice to push off the board against block.
True.
I would have actually probably not followed up on the push, because the adjacent lineman then would have had to push diagonally.
By the way,
Blitzing on the
There's a
opposite
blitz.
side.
it's a blitzer.
Both
You
down.
can just use the both down.
Doesn't
Don't
doesn't
reroll that.
Everyone
taking
stay
play
standing.
again. Uses the blitz on the opposite side of the board from the ball. I'm not exactly sure why.
Seems a bit strange.
We missed the kickoff event in
Could've-
the recording. Both players have a free bribe, by the way.
Ooh.
Could have the human lineman that just moved could have blitzed for 2 dice the lineman that they're now standing next to. I'm not sure.
The human
what
players
the,
already
blitz
used
on the
their
opposite
blitz.
side. I know, that's what I'm saying. The blitz on the other side, I don't know if I would have taken it over the 2 dice in the middle near the ball.
Now, from the Dark Elf's perspective, this leaves an opening in the humans' defense on the right side, where they
There's
can't
the
easily
handoff.
maneuver as quickly as the elves do. And they're overcommitting on this left side, I feel.
Yes, the humans committing very heavily on the left side.
I would stand the center lineman. I would take the 2 dice with the lineman directly next to that person against the human lineman, and then I would make the handoff to that then freed up elven lineman. I'd run it back. Throw would be out of range. Could base with 2 go for it. And even then it would just be a 1 in 6 to fail the dodge.
I feel like there's an easy 2-die block here in the middle somewhere. Yeah.
There's a couple of them.
Against Sigrid and against Baldric in the middle here.
And if the
I
Dark
think
Elf player makes
Moth-
those blocks, this blasts open the middle of the field for the Dark Elf team.
Exactly.
But yes, I absolutely agree. The human team heavily overcommitting on that left side.
Unless they're planning to make a pass, the first move should be relocating this ball to the opposite side of the field, in my opinion.
Yes.
This is not a complete cage. It only takes 1 push to open it up.
I'm not sure what that served.
Blitz
Blitzes
coming from
with
the lineman in the back.
block unit.
Wait, did
This
he
is an
dodge?
unwise commitment.
He dodged into a tackle zone there.
I'm not sure of what that plays was aiming to achieve, if I'm honest. Just committed 3 people to 2 people to make a dodge roll out that they could have made anyway.
Looks like the Dark Elf player is going to go for a pass play over to that blitzer that just dodged away.
That seems like it's not a good idea to
Can
leave
make
a
the
man
medium
all by
pass.
himself. Like if you have a man isolated, then they can easily be cut off from the rest of your team.
Short pass.
Here comes the pass play.
Is there an intercept chance on that human?
There is not.
Okay.
Oh, there is.
There was an intercept chance. Did not matter. Pass is successful. That is an SPP on Fendiorl, the blitzer that made the pass. Ball now on the Elven right wing, with not
Alright,
a lot
well,
of human
I would
players
start-
in the area.
Yeah, the humans really need to get punched down over here. Unfortunately, he's already used his blitz on that side. That's probably why he decided to punch over here, is because he wanted to move the ball over here. And he wanted to make sure those guys are laying down. But now, in order to create an opening here, he's going to be forced to make a 1-die block in the middle.
Just a knockdown, but no armor break. That lineman makes a
There's
1
one die
dice
block.
without block. That was risky.
Pushes them into a bunch of other.
Especially when the
Dark
2
Elf
dice
players.
is available with block from myrdal against Marquis Valdric. Here it is. Gets the POW. Pushes them into a tackle zone.
Would you have
Follows
followed
on.
up there?
I definitely would have followed up, but I would not have pushed the lineman into that location.
See, I'm not sure I would have followed up there because well, actually, no. If you do follow up, it means your ogre can't get in there. So yeah, actually, maybe following up is a good idea there.
The both down on the double block players. Leaves nothing
That
occurring
one dice
there.
with block was worth it to get the surf potential, I think.
Yeah,
Agreed.
potentially. Now we have a free lineman in the back. Can he make it all the way over to that ball carrier? Only just.
Basing these elves is almost irrelevant. I'd actually run further backwards to screen off that side of the field rather than try to base the ball carrier this time.
Ooh, freed up a human for a potential blitz. Is he going to go for a 1 die or 2 die, you think?
Given that it's a lineman, I personally would try and get the 2 dice, but I'm not sure there's another player that they
There
can
is.
base.
He has his thrower is free. He could do 2 going for it to get a second die.
Okay, could base with the thrower, could base with the ogre. Both would require 2 going for it.
The ogre would require a third roll, though. The really stupid.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure you want to waste those tackle
Why
zones.
is
I
it
almost
the
want to.
thrower instead of pursuing the ball carrier?
Whoa. Yeah, you're. So he's electing to punch rather than to go for the ball, it seems.
Basically giving the first half to the elf team to delay as long as they want. Best tactic now is to just make them regret it.
I guess the one thing you want to go for then is a dead blitzer. They have a bribe, so they could, in theory, put the boot in and kill a blitzer.
Potentially.
And an injured blitzer would definitely put the strength much more in favor of the human
Rolls
team.
a bonehead on the ogre.
Gets the bonehead
Chooses
on
not
the
to
ogre.
reroll. Obviously, Lona making that 50-50 reroll, never worth it. Just
Did he make a blitz? Did he waste it?
Did not blitz with the ogre.
I'm not
Okay.
seeing a blitz icon. Makes
Went
the
for a
67%
dodge.
and rolls a 1, re-rolls into a 5 to base the ball carrier. Basing the ball carrier on the far side from the touchdown line to get the 2 dice, I would have pushed to the opposite
Gets the
side.
2 die blitz.
With this positioning, that push now.
Take the both
Actually pushes
down.
them away.
Oh, wait, no, it's blitzer. Never mind. Just do a push.
Has to push. Both down would not be a good result.
Pushing towards the middle seems like an odd choice,
Indeed it does.
because that gives the dark elf options.
I agree. I would have tried to push them against the sideline. Rolls a push, frees up the blitzer on the back corner to run back around.
Yep,
That's what I would do.
he saves the blitzer from being surfed. That's a good move.
Pantherman should go back to screen, I think. There we go.
Going to the backfield? Yeah, definitely.
That blitzer 7 movement is now in range of this elf next turn. Has to make the dodge roll or the block. Mathematically, the dodge out and the block are the same. The block is more offensive and gets the chance for the knockdown. Let's see if the elf recognizes the arithmetic of the situation. And even if they want to use their blitz on that player.
Yeah, the safest
Either
thing.
way,
The safest thing here
and
might be for the
blitzer
elf to double
free
back.
needs to screen off against the blitzer from the humans. And they do.
Still 3 elves not doing anything in the backfield here with 1 human.
Chooses to roll dice rather than moving the blitzer. Decides to blitz with the blitzer for 2 dice with block.
Gets the POW.
Gets POWs.
Frees up the ball carrier.
Ball carrier will probably just run up the right side now.
Now, there is a problem here because there is a definite surf potential on that blitzer now.
I don't see it. It would be too risky to, I don't think anyone is in range, really, and it would require 2 red dice to push them onto the sidelines.
The way you can do it is push them back against the sideline and using the downed human player, and then blitz from Baldric at an angle, and that'd push him off.
With the 2 red dice against the character with block, I would never try that.
No, it wouldn't be 2 against.
You'd stand up the player and then
It
the
would
1 dice
require
against block?
dodges.
It would require a dodge.
There are too many rolls involved. I wouldn't risk it. Maybe we'll see.
Neither would I.
Maybe they will. It'd be a very greedy attempt.
The Dark Elf player making lots of dodges.
But
Eventually,
that dodge
that's
was
going
to
to
get
fight.
a very strong screen between the lineman in the back and the ball carrier.
Absolutely, but these dodges will not roll well forever. When will it bite the Dark Elf player?
Turn 1 if I remember correctly.
You're not wrong.
Now they're just getting their payback. Elves returning to usual form and making dodges left, right, and center. This blitzer in the center actually open to a, or on the elven left side, actually open to a 3 dice from Mighty Blow if the blitz is on their favor, or just a 3 dice with block. Even further cementing the screen. But again, leaving this blitzer with these extra bribes, this blitzer is almost certainly going down and almost certainly being fouled. Hathrel better be worried. Rolls the 1. Decides to
And
reroll.
there's the 1 on the dodge. And that is
Screens
the
off from
Elven
that
player's
hypothetical-
last reroll.
Screens off from that hypothetical surf play that you pointed out.
Yep.
Dodges out. Fails to go for it. No armor break, but definitely worth it to avoid that 3 dice
Yeah,
into
yep.
the almost certain foul.
Yep, leave him on the ground.
Now, what do you
So where's
think
the-
here? The Dark Elf team now out of rerolls with over half of the first half left.
I mean, the tactic is to stall at this point as long as you can, right?
At this point, yes.
Now there is a way through this screen if one of the blitzers blitzes one of these linemen.
I mean, there's a 1 die
Still so far
with
away.
a blitzer with block, so he could open up a channel here easily enough. I don't know why he brought an ogre in for an assist. That's a waste of team value right
It's
there.
not even an assist because of guard. It doesn't have guard, so it's actually marked. It
Yeah.
actually just blocks off the path even more. You've put your own wall of meat in between you and your objective. It's
At the same
Not always
time,
the
at the
wisest
same
strategy.
time, do you risk a blitz on a potential bonehead?
I definitely wouldn't have blitzed with the ogre, but moving the ogre into that position gave almost nothing except for maybe the
I
potential.
think moving
mean,
that
what else
over,
does the ogre
Mighty Blow
do?
next turn.
you move near the down blitzer. There's 2
I would've-
blitzers over there.
I would have moved down 2 spaces if you're looking from the Dark Elf side, down 2 spaces to mark 3 players
Yep.
instead of just the 2.
Yep, that's exactly where I was pointing to.
It would have only been a 1 dice with a block from the blitzer. one mark would have turned it into a red dice. Should maybe consider the foul. Choosing to go commit 3 people to a 2-dice blitz.
Hmm.
There seems to be a recurring trend. Do you think that the coach maybe doesn't quite know the equation for acquiring 2 dice?
Yeah, I don't think he quite knows how assists work.
Because that's definitely a wasted player every time.
Makes the 1 die with a push.
Chooses to push away from the players and not follow. Interesting.
So, question. Does the elf player decide to surf this lineman? Kind of a waste of a
Almost.
blitz, but maybe.
Again, it doesn't have to be a blitz in that situation.
That's true. There
All
is
that needs
a
to happen is this lineman in the elven side just has to mark Sigric to negate the assist. Then the elven lineman stands on the opposite side of Hamlin, and then the blitzer can get a 1 dice with block into a push that would be a surf.
It would be a 2 dice.
2 dice with block, correct.
Mm-hmm. However, that would also put one of the elven linemen in danger of also being served.
This is true.
I mean, it would leave the blitzer in danger of being surfed. More scary thing.
yeah.
Just
That,
select
everyone
to
be
make a
served.
touchdown.
All right.
First touchdown of the game by GK, the Dark Elf team.
Being as edgelordy as ever.
As
Still
always.
plenty of time in this first half. That those elves could score again. They're probably thinking, I've got time. Make this 2-0 in the first half. Humans are thinking, this is the opportunity for me to pull it back.
An interesting defensive formation here.
It's a smart defensive formation against big guys because it stops the big guys from following on and still having potential standing blocks for the next round.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Big guy has to move. You want the big guy to throw as few blows as possible.
Putting this big guy between these two front players is probably the best place for him.
Yeah,
Leaving him
switching
there
with
is
that lineman.
definitely not.
Switching with that lineman, you can then get him on 2 different guys.
I agree.
And then you've still got 2 blitzers on the other side to make that side stronger.
Going an aggressive setup here.
It is their drive. They do outstrength their opponents.
Very aggressive.
Ogre doesn't move. Single target.
Here's our kick. Kickoff event. Changing weather.
Nice weather. Looks
Oh.
like it's a far back ball. Looked like a touchback to me for a second there, but it bounced backwards. Gotta
Mhm.
love those Blood Bowl physics.
Good placement of that ball
Hey.
for the Dark Elf team.
The ball's weird shaped. Footballs can actually do that all the time, depending on how they land.
Indeed.
Yeah, they also bounce really well with the metal spike sticking out the side of them. This isn't a physics-based game. Let's not kid ourselves.
I mean, I'm just saying. Technically, a football can bounce that way, and a
Wait,
Blood
so
Bowl
Hold on a
ball
second.
is shaped.
So
like
you
a
put the ogre on the line only to block with your blitzer?
And then you choose not to block. I don't.
Is he gonna
Again,
blitz
I
with
don't
the
see
ogre?
it. Positioning the
Potentially.
ogre
Is he?
always unwise. Can waste two assets.
I mean,
5 strength and a blitz.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe blitz the opponent's blitzer, but
He's got to be
That's-
blitzing one of the blitzers with the ogre. Like that's the only thing that makes sense.
yeah, it's the only thing that makes sense.
Human player moving a lot of players back, considering that the thrower is already in range to pick up the ball, and maybe that's born of the fear that elves can just run so far so quickly.
Yeah, it seems like he wants a couple people back for safety.
Indeed, it does.
But definitely giving up on a lot of these blocks. You gotta remember, you're attacking first. You get to knock down most of these players in the first turn. They aren't a threat. You don't need to commit that many people. 2 is enough.
Still has the bribe.
Oh, the human player has a bribe.
Both teams have
Both
a bribe.
players got a bribe at the start of
that's right.
of
We
the
got
first half.
get yeah.
First
and a KO.
removable. It's a KO.
And a KO.
Very nice. That's going to make the possible.
Not very
that's gonna
important.
make the possible equalizer much easier to get.
Yeah, that makes it much easier for the human team.
Exacerbates the strength advantage for the ogre owner.
Mm-hmm.
No bonehead, no blitz. Marks 2 players.
Interesting choice.
All right.
Now, from the elven point of view, I'm actually considering going for the 1 dice block with block against that ogre, because knocking that ogre down
Is huge. That's a lot of team value in a single unit.
One more blitzer on the field to take a blitz with, potentially. Wonder where it has to be there. I guess blitz alignment at this point? Maybe mark the other one near the ogre?
I was going to say you have to blitz one of the winged linemen, but now it looks like they're going inwards one, which isn't wise. It allows the elves to collapse in.
Yeah, they have
Just
a
gets
It
chance.
away
also
from
leaves
me.
this. It also leaves this wing open for all the fear of elf speed. You'd think they would have
I
kept
don't
that
think
locked off.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have followed up here, then kept the blitzer back so you could screen off that area.
Successfully
pickup.
picks up the ball.
I would bring that in because the alpha is going to come down.
And keeps
Bring
him
it
on the
toward the
open
elf.
left wing.
Just going to bring it toward the elf to hand it to him. Say, I have a present for you.
Elf's still out of range this movement, so I wouldn't be too concerned with that, but could base the lineman with 2 go for it. I wouldn't even try though. It's a pretty safe position. What they did do is they stopped the 1 dice against the ogre with that push last turn with the mark.
Ooh, failed
fails the
dodge.
dodge.
Fails the dodge on the
That's a
second
turnover.
action.
Yeah. 2 rerolls, that'll do it.
Those early aggressive rerolls costing now. Still half of this first half. That's a quarter for those following along at home.
How will the human player use this to their advantage?
Marks. Marking with the ogre again.
Oh, wow.
Same thoughts going through my head. Getting deja vu. Better move up to mark the assist. Really driving forwards into the elven half now. When the ball is so far back. Perhaps trying to draw attention.
Stretching
Oh, no.
himself awfully thin, though.
I'm noticing that on the right-hand side, from the elven perspective, there's not many players. Everyone's on this left side. Could allow for an invade.
You think the elves can come around from behind and flank them? Flank the ball carrier?
at least put pressure on the ball. Moving up into this faux cage. Perhaps moving this lineman back to form the cage proper, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Blitz the
necessary.
lineman. Oh, blitzing the lineman, as I said it. Follow on.
I'm not sure if I'd leave a blitzer on the sideline when you have a better
I'd
idea,
now
better
move the
places to come in.
lineman up beside that blitzer to actually stop the stop the one dices. But maybe he's more concerned about this cage. I don't know. The human player has been very cautious about the potential behind these elves to move. Does mark. Stops the one dice against the ogre. Moves to mark the elves. Still one elf free, but out of range. I'm seeing for the elven player, I'm seeing a 2 dice with no block against no block into a 2 dice with block against block to open up this entire right side of the field.
Yep. You think maybe taking these downed elves and at least bringing the free one back for when the humans come forward?
Potentially.
With the movement speed of that thrower, you only have to move 2 squares. I'd say diagonal down to the right just to stop the potential for the ogre to make a 2 dice against block into base contact. I would stand up the elf that's marked. I don't think you're running him anywhere, so I would just stand him up to get him sat back down again. This elf on the sideline, definitely not standing up with that blitzer stood there. Might be the prime opportunity, actually, for the elven player to side cage and use maybe one of the back corners of the cage to foul.
The Dark Elf player spending the first minute thinking. Carefully considering it's their play.
Or, could be a disconnect. That's been a record high in the past few weeks. Oh, no, makes a dodge out and then back into a tackle zone to concede a 2 dice with block against. Not sure what the intent there was. Perhaps trying to just force the dice roll to tie up this cage, but it's better to force dodges against these blitzers. The dodges for the blitzers, 67%. The blocks, only a 1 in 6 to fail. 67%. That was...
Committing 4 people for 2. That seems a bit...
Especially after I noticed the 2 dice into the 2 dice. You could have easily have done that with 1 fewer person.
Also have a blitzer free in the backfield here that you can bring forward. I don't think the Dark Elf players used their blitz yet this turn yet.
Builds a screen.
So is he going to dodge away, or is he going to give up a punch here from the ogre?
Has to dodge. Standing in base contact with that ogre does not... is never a good idea.
All right, gets a push. Does he follow? Good, he didn't.
Chooses not to follow. Taking a much more defensive stance now. I would.
Here's the question: do you dodge out the downed elf over here? It looks like he might be able to make a blitz with it even.
Here it comes.
On the ball carrier.
That was risky. and is
Super risky.
rewarded.
Yeah.
And an
And
armor
a-
break. The thrower
Ladies and
Wow.
is
gentlemen, we have
injured.
an injury. The thrower's
Injures
out.
the thrower. No
Bounces
alpo.
onto a lineman. Baldric taking the ball.
Baldric catching the ball. And that is the human's only thrower.
Mathematically terrible play, rewarded exponentially there. Absolutely worth it.
So what do you do now as the humans? Just go for a running play and get this lineman to score?
You know, I'm not quite sure. I think you have to put some faith into this ogre not rolling bonehead. Mark two guys, get a punch through, and
Makes
then
the blitz
start
in the
collapsing
back line.
these elves inwards to the right.
All right. Well, this turn, the humans are going to have to move. Otherwise, they're not going to have that much.
The
Oh!
injury
And
turn
another injury on the Dark Elf team.
not on nearly as important as a player. Miss next game, replaced with a loner next game.
Lineman
quality,
missing next
irrelevant.
game.
All right, now he's got to move that blitzer up the field. He can mark these two elves over here, or just one of them. But basically, he just has to get. No, he's switching to the ogre. He's just leaving that blitzer there, not using the rest of his movement. Oh, that's
These high movement pieces have to be moved as much as they can every time.
yeah,
if not, you are
absolutely. He needs
wasting
to.
the versatility.
Yeah, and he needs. I mean, he needs as many players up the field as he can get because he has to move pretty much his max movement every turn from now on.
So we're going to
In order to
going with
score.
a cage on the sideline. It looks like possibly.
This is a dangerous side cage. This elf still only needs an 83% dodge to make a one dice. Done it once, you can do it again.
He's
Well, he's
probably
got-
going to move a lineman or something into this front corner here.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he's got Grant Advar,
Opts to
Oh.
mark.
which
Does stop the blitz, but
that pretty much completely stops that blitz in its tracks.
it also forces the human player to rely on the block next turn to be able to move the ball down.
That is true.
Yep.
Rolling the both down on the Blitzer v Blitzer. Does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, with a mirror matched skills, it's going to be difficult to get a punch in with
Another
one on both
2-die
sides.
block, but only gets a push.
It does free up an elf.
Opts not to. Wants to take that one dice with block.
Interesting.
I definitely don't agree with that play. Would have been better off pushing them away from the other player. Or following.
Or following
to
up,
make-
so you got to
to make the 2-die block.
maybe maybe he's thinking the screen might be too weak on that side if he doesn't.
It's funny. I was thinking that
Oh.
the screen was too weak. That
And there's
failed dodge
another
opens
dodge.
up the elven backline.
That's huge, actually.
Yeah, now we can have the blitzer march up and give him one turn closer to making a score.
Failed dodges plaguing this Dark Elf team.
Although there is an option here for the human to score this round if they make two going for it.
If he passes it, yes.
Attempting to use the ogre for a back cage. I respect it. Don't know how you're going to get the other human around. So there's going to be a 1+2 escape that for that elf.
I
Gotta
have to
get
say,
that
this has been
respect.
the most well-behaved ogre I've seen in a while.
Indeed.
He's now moving that blitzer up.
Stops the 2 dice with block to force it into a 1 dice. Marks the players. Actually
Blocks himself a little bit.
lacks the players to make a back cage now. Goes for the blitz.
Gets the
Gets
pow.
the pow. push onto the sidelines, step through to form the back cage. Chooses to push them into the formation of the back cage. Actually, a terrible play. And then negative cages behind the ogre, which may thick skull next turn to block movement, and these two elves that are standing would then have to be one dice to create a path. I don't agree with the position.
Got another blitzer that then he comes in, and at least he has the back cage formed. Got a lineman that comes up and just marks these elves a little more.
These marked elves only needing a 2+ to reposition, and I think actually successfully screen off this drive.
But he knocks the one that really needs to get in the way down.
No armor break, but lowers the movement enough with the stand-up to...
Yeah, that actually, that cage can only get to in front of the ogre, which means if that lineman over here, Tornil, on the sideline gets thrown off by the lineman that'll be free back here and the blitzer, then that's a wide open end zone. That's a turn 8 touchdown to equalize. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a game on our hands.
Indeed we do.
Can actually make 2+ dodges to get a 1 dice with block against the ball carrier inside this cage.
Where?
Might be worth it. The 2 elves that are adjacent to the cage, if the elf on the sideline dodges back once and then bases the ogre and the blitzer, and then the other blitzer on the other side dodges out and then back into 1 dice the ball.
Oh,
Fails the dodge
no.
roll,
And fails that dodge roll again. Like
and
I
that
said,
leaves the human player open to score the touchdown.
failed dodge rolls plaguing this Dark Elf team.
Last turn,
He's
2
got
rerolls.
2 rerolls left.
Might as well make the greedy blocks with the
Just
players
throw the
that
greedy
have it.
block.
Throw a few greedy blocks. Try and get those injuries
armor
before
break.
the second half.
If the reroll isn't used after the blocks, I might consider the foul on one of these blitzers.
I would
near this
absolutely
ogre.
foul on turn 8.
I might have fouled last turn, but not this turn.
Definitely last turn, but if the reroll isn't used, it's still a safe-ish.
Oh, here we go. Another 2 die on a lineman. Just get the push.
Again, commits 4 people to that person.
At this point, the reroll for the foul is irrelevant because he still has the bribe.
True.
That's also true.
You might as well. You might as well make the fouls with the
reroll's
bribe.
refresh. The reroll's refresh at the end of the half. The bribe doesn't.
Actually, you should probably foul Gesterin then. He already has 3 humans around him.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Foul him with that lineman
That
who's
is
there.
a +3 armor break. The ogre on there would be +4.
Yeah, get the ogre on there. Foul with the lineman. Looks like he's just going to score, though.
Does not make the foul. I wonder if these players have forgotten that they have a free bribe.
I wonder if that human has forgotten that they have 2 rerolls. Not needed in the entire game.
Or if you don't need them.
Elf has tripped themselves up. Halftime whistle. Trading sides.
Knockout stays laying down.
Okay,
Strength
so
advantage still with humans.
Humans are still up a man.
Humans up a man and receiving the ball.
I think if I'm the human team on this drive, I look to just try to grind down the elves as much as I can and score last minute.
I agree.
But then again, once we start throwing
wide
blocks,
defense away from the ogre is smart. Stops the multiple targeting from the ogre.
Mm-hmm. But if I'm the
Although
offense,
enables the follow-up onto the blitzer.
There we go.
Regrets it.
so
This is a
if
very
I'm-
forward defense, easy to break on the flanks here.
possibly, yeah. Keep in mind too, though, that the human team no longer has their thrower with sure hands, though, so that ball is going to be ever so
Pitch
slightly more
invasion.
slippery.
Elves go
Invasion!
down heavily in favor of
5
humans,
elves
as if the game
going
wasn't
down.
already.
Oh,
Oh.
my gosh.
That
That
is
is
absolutely brutal.
The only saving grace there for the elves is that the ogre doesn't get to bring to bear the mighty blow on the lineman.
That
we're
is
talking 5
brutal.
elves versus a single human lineman, and as if it wasn't bad enough, the ball lands right next to the lineman who's back to receive.
That pitch invasion heavily in favor of the human team here.
Nuffle, not a fan of elf bullshit.
Seems to be a running theme this entire tournament, if you remember the High Elf game earlier.
Chaos
What
is
does
the
the elf
bullshit
team
race.
do here? How do you respond to this?
Retreat, maybe?
Again, with this from the human's perspective, this right flank open moves the ogre in to help block. I would move the blitzer in to block the opposite side to force the dodge into tackle.
Another
we
armor
get
break.
another stun.
Another stun. Basically the entire
another
elven
stun.
team on the ground.
The elf team with 3 players left standing.
That dark elven depression makes me want to stay in bed all day.
Really coming to bear here. And another available block before the blitz.
So the human team could really put the hurt on the elf team by fouling one of the still standing elves.
Does not
Ignores
pick
the
up
ball
the
with
ball.
the lineman. Probably going to pick it up with the blitzer if I have any professionalism in this commentary.
Oh,
Rolls double
Does not.
skulls.
Rolls
There's
double
the first
skulls.
reroll.
Rerolls. Takes the
Remembering that
push.
they have them. Oh yeah, rerolls are a thing I have.
Oh yeah, rerolls. What do you know?
So is he going to bring the blitzer back to then mark this other elf to get another 2-die block?
I think the lineman on the far left side will assist Jorg Fintelberry to get the 2-die block on the lineman. And the blitzer on the far right side will go back to pick up the ball.
Mm.
Goes to pick up the ball first.
Change of pace with that pickup up instead of
And he makes it with a
the
6.
block. Rolls the 6.
The pickup.
moves that blitzer towards the strong side. Throws
Makes
a
the
pass.
Oh, okay.
The human team
Very
trying to take
interesting
full
choice.
advantage of this reduced elven team.
Yeah, and trying to use their strength in their advantage to protect the ball.
Not sure I would have made the pass after the reroll failed on this
You don't need to
turn.
mark anyone. They're not going to be standing next round. I would mark the standing players.
Knight Panzerman getting the SPP off of the pass, though.
Yeah, that's yet another blitzer in range of an MVP level up.
So, what are elves going to do? I would probably come back into the backfield a little bit.
The elf team
And-
has to dodge out and try and make a screen.
Because blocking is not the way to go here with only 3 elves on the field.
Well, he's got plenty of elves on the field. They're just all on the ground.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Ones that are napping don't count yet. But these humans are really going to have to hustle. Otherwise, they're going to have all the elves dividing their team.
Greens with the ogre again. Very defensive ogre play.
But what are your thoughts? Move this ball carrier as far into the elven territory as possible and just screen off?
Yes,
Mhm,
absolutely.
Absolutely. You move in as far as you can.
Makes the
Ooh.
4+ dodge into a tackle zone.
Whoa, with a
Rolls
6,
the
by the way.
That was a risky dodge. Very risky dodge.
Probably
Yeah, I
has-
just think the humans need to get everybody they can up the field.
At
That-
this
that
point,
dodge-
Once that ball carrier is close to the end zone, humans can actually just screen that area off and then just start punching elves until the cows come home.
Yeah.
He can just stall
Yes.
the rest of this game by walling up in that corner and not letting anyone get to the ball carrier and just throwing blocks for the next 8 turns.
He decides to move short just to protect his ball. It's a conservative play, but that might bite him in the ass here.
very
There's so
bad,
many elves in range.
Very bad play, actually, because there are free elves on the ground in plenty of
Yeah.
range.
There is a blitz happening unless he can screen off these elves.
Very big mistake from the human player here.
This blitzer in the back going to have to move forwards to screen off the 2 elves on the ground. Wouldn't stay in base contact. Would move forwards that extra square.
That's still going to get a 1 die on the ball.
You want to move that blitzer forwards 1 so that they can't hit this back corner for 1 dice.
Does not.
It is a blitzer that's carrying the ball right now. They do have block. That does make this riskier for a 1 dice aggressive defense.
All right, so your elves, what do you do in this situation?
First things first, stand up all your players.
First things first, stand up this lineman on the far right side of the elven field. Get that 2 dice.
Oh, he blitzes just
Makes
immediately.
the
with
1 die
blocker.
blitz.
Oh, okay.
He's
Oh.
rewarded for it.
Okay.
Bad play
yeah.
rewarded.
Does not follow.
Well, it wasn't that great of a bounce, but it's only in 1 tackle zone. It's entirely possible to pick this up.
Mhm.
I have a feeling that the elves might go for the pickup here.
That might be the elves' only option at this point.
If they're going to do that, though, they probably want to dodge somebody into the backfield and make a pass back there just to get it out of the way of the humans.
Stands up the
That's
blitzer
exactly what I was
first and
just
doesn't
thinking.
take the 2 dice to clear the blitzer, which is a interesting play. Could be an error. Could be wanting to not roll any more
There's
dice.
a group of 3
but there's
elves
a
here on
dodge
the
that has to be
right,
made here.
by the way. Like, if he clears this 1 lineman here,
Having taken that block now, that's definitely a misplay. Should have waited to stand the blitzer to be able to move them afterwards. Next turn, that will be a surf potential with 2 dice, though. Fails the dodge roll.
Fails the dodge
Rerolls.
again.
Goes to pick up the ball. Fails to pick up the ball. Where's the scatter? Elven control. Easy to remove, though, with the by standing up and
See,
then
if
taking
I
the
was
2
elves
dice
there,
block.
I actually don't think I'd have gone for the pickup. I think I would have gone for. He just dodged with the ogre.
That
well, a lot of
is
strange things can
stunning.
happen. You roll 6s.
advice from the commentary box: if you're going to play Blood Bowl, roll 6s.
Yep. You don't need to be good if you're lucky.
Gets
Opts
the
to make
pickup.
2 go for it this turn.
And makes
Goes
the
for the quick
touchdown.
And scores.
I think our human player wants to see if they can get a score, if a high-scoring game.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
No, yo hablo español.
Did the KO stand up?
KO does not stand up.
Parlez-vous français, mon frère?
Oof.
I was just
So
still left out.
humans still outnumbering elves.
But
KO
still
not waking
plenty
up.
of time for the elf team to score.
Quite a bit of time, actually.
Now, this human defense should be with those long arcing walls backwards because of all these high movement elves. Should aim to catch them, not to try and block them on the line. Goes for a closer position on the elves this time.
Now, do you make a strong left side to try and avoid that ogre again here?
Absolutely, I think so. I think you try to avoid that ogre as much as possible.
I agree.
Because
Looking at a
while
more
Mighty Blow may not
balanced.
help, Mighty Blow may not be particularly helpful against your average armor. Those few times that he does break armor, he's got a higher chance of taking your elves off permanently. And you're already at a strength disadvantage.
Another get the
Another
ref.
bribe.
More bribe.
Holy cow! If people don't start stepping on people, I don't know what you're doing.
At this point, with the humans having the strength advantage and the player advantage, that bribe is in favor of the humans again.
Oh
Tries to
my,
make it
already
dodge.
another failed
And
dodge.
another failed dodge.
He almost failed it the second time too. He only got it with a 2.
These
This
dodges.
is why I'm not a fan of. This is why I'm not a fan of elves. They rely too much on rolling,
Oh!
And another
cheeky 2+s.
failed dodge.
and when the dice aren't on your side and you roll 2 1s in a row, you lose the game. Elves rely on being able to make those dodges. Although tries to
ogre
make a
trying to
5+
make a
dodge,
dodge,
with the
apparently.
ogre into a tackle zone, re-rolls,
I feel like that had to have been a misclick.
but the re-roll commitment there was frightening. That traded back tempo.
That was interesting.
And
Now, foul the ogre.
Keep in mind here,
Now-
Dark Elf.
Now let's
Dark
play the
Elf
game for
reroll.
real.
Foul the ogre.
All right, so both teams got their mulligan turn of this drive.
Yeah, I suppose you could make this an expensive win for the humans. Just surround the ogre and stomp on him. There's still a chance that
You
could
have-
end up.
You
not
have 2 bribes.
summer.
Absolutely. Try and step on the ogre. Try and get him off the pitch.
The ogre is not the one I'd step on though. With
If
that
you're the blitzer.
that 9 armor value, unless you have your entire team on that ogre by himself, that is not going to be enough.
makes the POW, chooses not to follow, wants to have the movement,
Then
then opts
doesn't
not to use the movement.
Even if it's not an injury on the ogre, you still want that ogre off the field because that evens this matchup much more than the human player having the ogre.
This commitment to both sides could be a fatal flaw. Lower strength on the Elven team, you need to consolidate your strength.
I completely agree.
Not only that, the ogre has
Goes for the one-person foul.
Goes for the
High
foul on
armor,
the
not
ogre.
unlikely to work. No
Armor
result.
break. Nope. Does not armor break.
Elf is not sent off though.
Getting sits off not really a concern here with 2 bribes on each team. And there's the ogre stand-up.
Seinfeld theme plays.
Now, with the way this human player has been playing this ogre, making all these dodges, I wouldn't be surprised if this ogre picks up a break tackle in the future. That would be fun to see.
What do you imagine ogre stand-up sounds like?
And then
I
everyone
imagine it
laughed.
sounds like impending doom for these elves. Opts to mark the elven screen. Not sure I would have moved that first lineman into position. I would have gone for the 2 dice on the blitzer to open up this human left wing.
protecting the
Looks-
blitzer from the surf it's a decent move.
Hardly a protection when it's a 1 dice. It's a 1 dice into a 1 dice to get a surf on the lineman.
At
instead
this
of
This is
the-
point-
true.
At this point, I could absolutely see the Dark Elf player taking out. Oh, block on the middle. Just gets a push. Taking
Targets
out
the center of the
Gunther
screen rather than the
Hamlin
side.
on the right wing of the Dark Elf team, making a pass to the blitzer Geshrin, and running down that right wing.
Can definitely do it. It would leave the blitzer on the sideline.
Which blitzer on the sideline?
The
Um,
lineman in the
Baldric.
center couldn't. The lineman in the center couldn't make that assist without running through tackle zone.
Oh.
That doesn't count for a strength advantage. Marked. Perhaps another misunderstanding of how assists work. Got to wait for guard until that play is a legitimate strategy. It's a legitimate failed strategy. 1 dice into a push.
With the placement of this human team, I would absolutely make the push on the right side, make the pass to Geshrin, and run down that right wing. The human player doesn't have the speed to keep up.
All right, I think the elves have a chance to possibly get through this human defense now.
Absolutely.
All you gotta do is take down Marquis Sigrit, and you have a channel going right through the middle here.
The channel already existing.
No, he has a tackle zone in there.
Oh, we get the
Here it is,
handoff.
goes for the handoff to Geshrin.
Here's the dodge. He has no rerolls though, so he better get this.
Makes the
Makes
dodge.
the dodge. This is exactly the play that I was just saying. Now
But
The humans
He's
can
still in
blitz.
range. the blitzer can still get there.
the humans can blitz.
Baldric over here on the edge.
2 dice
So-
only needs a push over here to free the blitzer and then blitz.
As a matter of
for a
fact,
1 dice block
well, and
against
also
block.
too, if we look at Marquis Valdric in the middle, we're looking at 2 die against block to get that. Oh, he's
That
actually
was
helping.
not
me.
what the
Yeah,
plan
I'm not
would
sure I
be.
agree with that punch.
At least he follows, but still, now that's Marquis Valdric can still hit Erdhill in the back, and then that frees up. Well, that doesn't actually free up Marquis Sigric anymore.
I think he needs to get.
Was that accidentally a half decent play? I think that was probably bad for movement sakes, but that actually made it so that Sigric can't get out of dodging. Sigric has to make a dodge roll in order to assist the blitz for a 2 die.
Yes, absolutely.
Makes the 1 dice.
Oh,
Gets the
that was
pow. Roll 6.
Does not follow.
all right. Well, I think you've got 1 reroll as the humans. You move Marquis Sigric up. Yeah, you throw that 2 die.
There's the block on the
Well-
lineman.
Rolls another 6. Frees up the blitzer for the blitz.
And this will be the
Okay.
blitz from the blitzer.
Now, does he just make the blitz or does he go for the dodge because he needs to knock that player down? I think you got to dodge with Marquis Sigric, get the assist over here, and then come in from the other side with Baldric and get that 2 die.
This turn, I believe,
I'm actually seeing a
deciding
different
whether
play.
or not. I believe this
The
turn
lineman
deciding.
that's leveled.
Go ahead.
The lineman that's leveled in the center can make a 2 dice block against the elven lineman to free up the other blitzer, which can also base, which is much more reliable than the dodge roll out.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, he's got enough
Oh,
movement.
attacked with the wrong
Oh,
unit.
Yeah,
Now a go for it to base.
Can still do it though.
It's 83% instead of 67. Still
I think
better
this turn
results
and
than
the
making
roll's going to decide how this
Looks
game
like
will
he's going for
result.
the go for it. Makes
Makes
the
the
go
go
for it. That was his 6. This is time for the 1. Double 1s.
There we go.
Here comes the blitz.
Rolls the
It's
6
a good
again.
thing he
Gets
gets
the
the
pow.
knockdown because that was a bad blitz angle.
Note
He
for the
got the
record,
ball, that was
on the
bad.
first dice. Didn't even need the assist.
Fails the catch.
Wouldn't re-roll.
Don't
re-roll
re-roll
that.
this.
Don't re-roll that.
Your last
Don't do it.
re-roll and it's in safe hands.
Yeah, there we go.
Even in a
Just keep
tackle
ball
zone.
control.
Question: do you go for the foul on that blitzer in the back? Well, not now.
He
This
uses
game
his last
looking-
reroll.
I think this game's looking to end 2-1 in favor of myrdal.
All right. Knockdown on that blitzer. Doesn't get the armor break. Now Ogre throws a block. Mighty blow. Here we go. Take out one of these linemen. Possibly get some SPP on that Ogre.
Hit
Has
the
not
one with
made
the
the block
bald
yet.
head. Less armor.
There's the block.
Yep. Here's the knockdown. No,
No
armor
No
break.
armor break.
Ooh, attacker down.
I don't think you re-roll this. Just let it go.
Well,
I'm
he
telling
has
you,
no more
if my
rerolls.
Chaos Dwarves had armor that was as high as these Dark Elves and Humans, my last game would have been so much better. Makes the dodge and the pickup in the tackle zone to score.
That's the touchdown.
That was lucky.
That was
ties the
Elvin
game.
bullshit.
Ties the game.
That was elfin bullshit at its finest, but alantor had no other choice. That was the only way he was going to be able to tie up this game.
All right, let me see the roll log on that.
I would love to see that roll log.
Oh, the knocked out player gets up. Come on, skip all this. Show me the roll log.
Game.
5, 6,
We had a
6.
6, a 6, and a 4. Oh wait, no, a 6, 6, 5. 5, 6, 6.
The pickup
He
was
gets
a
a
5. The
5.
dodge was a 6. The going for it was a 6. Very
Well, and he
good
gets a
rolls
5
here.
on the first dodge too.
5 on the first dodge
Perfect
as well.
defense. Elves finally getting a chance to react ahead of the humans.
Oh.
Game going in their
And
favor.
really good
Humans-
placement.
And it's kicked
That-
short, giving the elves a chance to score again.
Humans also though with a very strong chance to score if this doesn't the humans still get first turn. If that blitzer catches this, that's possibly a very strong move for
Definitely
the goal.
need to set the screen up.
Yeah, I
on
was
this
going to
left
say, do you
side.
put another elf there so that you reduce the chances of him catching that ball then?
Absolutely. You throw as many elves over there as you can, I think.
Absolutely.
You have to go all in on this left side because if the human switches sides of the field, they're not going to have enough forward movement to actually get the score.
That's not a successful screen on that side with the ball landing. You need more elves in the back line.
Yeah,
to
like
catch
an elf
anyone
in the
that
back
fits
line.
through.
Exactly. Why are you guarding the
Very
middle?
forward defenses. Need to get ahead of your attacker. Don't want to be chasing after them down the field.
And he gets a 6.
Makes the
just
catch
catches
anyway
it.
with a 6.
Oh,
Gets
of
the
course.
catch.
6+ catch, rolls a 6.
All right, now a human team needs to get all their players over here onto this left side, throw a few blocks, get that blitz, free up that blitzer, and start going.
Knight Panzerman needs a pair of sunglasses.
All right. We need
Again, not
Without a
using
blitz
the
on that
ogre to
side.
make the block.
Without a blitz on that side, this ball is not moving very far this turn. At least not with any decent defense.
Well,
No,
I
it is
think
not.
yeah, there definitely need to be more blocks thrown over there.
The elves could do 2 one-die blocks, though, to open up a channel to move through, though, and onto the flanks. giving them some more punches on this side.
I mean, right now it's a 2-dice block with block against block for the Dark Elves.
Never mind.
Against the ball
Yeah.
carrier.
Right.
Not a secure position for this ball.
Never mind.
Definitely not a secure position for this ball, and the armor break
Oh.
and the Dark
Armor
Elf player.
break.
Done.
Stun.
Done. That's going to hurt.
Given the placement of the human players, the Dark Elves still have a chance here.
Human still needs to move at least something because otherwise they're not going to be able to make it. He needs to move at very least 4 forward. Well, I guess, yeah, 4.
So what is his other option here? Dodge back and pass it to Jory Fendelberry and just go around the elves on the other side?
That's actually not a half bad idea, but Georgie just
Not
threw a
a
block.
half bad idea,
Yeah.
but threw the block and
Gets
still
removal.
gets the KO.
I feel like the humans are reserved to tie and just punch guys.
Yeah, I think I mean, if he wants to try to win this game, he needs to blitz on the ball carrier and actually knock out probably this lineman on the edge.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
You take that 1 die. If you knock that lineman down, or even better, knock him back.
You follow on, and then you can run backwards into your own back line and retreat.
No, or run
turns
forward
into
to
a
try to
2-die.
potentially do the score.
Finally
I would
not
moving a
stay
player to
forward
go
to
defend
this.
the ball
He
carrier.
did not blitz, so he cannot make the score now.
Yeah, the score is now impossible. He's got nobody who can make it into the end zone next turn. Unfortunate.
To be fair, I wouldn't have made the risky play to expose the ball carrier when the bribes are still out.
You have to. If you don't, it's a draw. Or a loss.
I would take the draw.
Or even
At this
a loss.
point, losing players. Another injury.
Another armor break.
This
This
time
time an injury.
on the humans.
Oh, a fractured leg on a
leg.
blitzer.
That blitzer is going to miss the
That-
next game.
Ouch.
It's a severe detriment to the next game that these humans play in.
Both players appear to have resigned to a draw.
His last turn. 2 bribes. Is anyone going to foul?
I can probably give you that
Double
answer.
skull.
Nope.
Turnover. Looking at the dice doesn't change them. There we go.
Well, I don't know. The left skull did look better than the right skull.
Whatever you
So
say.
you should always roll your shinier dice, folks.
At this point, just make the blocks. And
get injured
another
for the both
injury
down.
on the human team.
Smash knee.
A
On
smash
the
Smash
one with
injury.
the level
On the
up.
one that leveled.
Oh,
That is unfortunate.
That is highly unfortunate. Final turnover
Ooh.
of the match. Game is over. Draw. 2-2.
Double level up on that blitzer.
Oh, that blitzer's level 3?
No, I don't think so. I might be wrong though. I think it's 14.
13
Almost.
SPP.
I think it's
almost
14.
level 2, yeah.
13 is enough to level 3, I think.
Is it? I thought it was 14.
Let's check.
Someone check this.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody check this blitzer.
I mean, I said it on the internet and it has to be true.
yeah, whatever.
Level 3 is 16.
Level 3 is 16, so this is not a level 3
Wow,
blitzer,
So 14,
Or
14.
from having a blitzer be a star player.
but a level 2
Yeah.
blitzer with a single
that's-
touchdown away from
Yeah,
being level 3.
Exactly. That's a touchdown off from being a level 3, from being probably the fastest level 3 player in the game.
Well, what do you think?
I'll be the
What do
I'll
you
be the first to say that I just stopped giving a fuck about that game.
I mean, look, in the last 3 turns, myrdal went from winning that game pretty handily and having some good, like, mojo going into his next round to immediately just like, oh, it's a tie now. Oh, I just lost a player for and then oh wait, I just now have a guy who's one of my level up players who's now additionally going to be easier to injure for the rest of the league.
Yeah, the entire time, the entire like second half, after I threw my headset, I literally sat there, just like I don't give a fuck.
You threw
Literally,
your headset.
I did not. I threw my headset across my room.
That is the most Blood Bowl thing I have heard in
That
quite
is
some time.
very Blood Bowl. Anyways,
Well, I'm gonna validate the fuck out of it.
And I played it till the end. Because
That-
I wasn't gonna give him the fucking concede, and I was just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do the dumbest moves, hit his fucking ball carrier, and if I can get the ball, leave with it.
Yep. Well, here's the other thing too, though.
And that's
You also
literally the only way I did it.
keep in mind conceding is a very frowned upon thing in this league.
Also, by the way, you were rewarded for your efforts. Sticking through that game gave you a level up on your blitzer. Of course, he's
Dude, your blitzer is 1 touchdown away from being the most advanced player in the league. By far.
Mm.
that blitzer
Oh,
who
yeah.
that blitzer got 2 touchdowns and then got the MVP, so he is at 13 SPP right now. Once he hits 16, that will be a level 3 blitzer.
Absolutely.
Hang on, I think he
Yeah.
must have gotten an injury too. Then that's the only
No, I
way
got
the
an
math
injury.
turns out right.
He managed
I got
to
an
get.
injury.
He managed to get 3 injuries on me. One a nagging injury, one player who misses the next match, and one who will be okay.
Yeah, but
And-
it was early on and was your ball carrier.
And on the human team, MVP Duke Advar apparently got an injury at some point in the game. Is sitting
Oh,
at 7
Duke Advar, who's
SPP.
gonna miss the next game. Oh
The
man.
player who is going to miss the next game, getting the MVP and the level 2
Oh.
level up.
That's
Now,
a real.
I cannot wait to see what you guys roll to see what we're gonna see in this next match here for you.
Oh, man.
highly unfortunate for that MVP placement. But
I am
Oh.
being completely
anyways,
honest. I am not playing any more Blood Bowl this not this next couple of days. I'm fucking done with it.
Hey,
I
yeah,
am
shit,
that
that's the
pissed
fun of
off.
it. That's the fun of it. That's the whole point, man. You gotta roll with it.
anyways,
Everyone,
thank you
everyone gets
all.
fun.
I'm assuming
was-
for this for elves, I just throw dodge on them and make them obnoxious.
All right, guys. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you
was
all.
so lucky.
Thank you all for joining me today. That was the match between GAK, Alantor's team, and the Imperial Conscripts, myrdal's team, ending in a draw. Congratulations to both of you. How did you feel?
Fuck this game.
I was
Fair enough.
I was very lucky. My ogre only boneheaded once.
Only one bonehead from the ogre, and that pitch invasion that took out 5 of your elven players. That was brutal.
Hey, it's
That
okay.
here's the thing. I ranted for a good 4 or 5 minutes on that. Rolled that one. Got the dude knocked down. We rolled. Made the dodge. Second guy dodged. That's when I threw my headset.
Yep.
And I was just
Oh, see,
and I threw my headset, left the call, and played the rest of the game in silence.
you balanced that out though, because you then made the most BS dodge into a tackle zone, pick up the ball in a tackle zone, dodge out of a tackle zone, and then score. Like
Elven
roll
bullshit
that
at
you
its
never
finest.
should have made. Yeah, Elven
That
bullshit.
was the-
Complete Elven
that was
bullshit.
the
Complete
the-
Elven
I-
bullshit.
that was the I could it was like if I can grab the ball, I can get in the end zone. Click. I didn't even look at the odds. I had given up at that point. I didn't give enough shit to even
Alantor.
look at odds. I just clicked.
Alantor, dodges absolutely plaguing you this match, failing so many of them. That had to hurt. It was highly unfortunate. But again,
Oh,
Thank-
sure. Yeah, myrdal can attest how pissed off I was getting at those dodges.
thank you, myrdal. Thank you, Alantor. What a wonderful game. Thank you to Varen, Desmond, and Slight Quills for sticking with me in the commentator's booth. Congratulations on the draw, both of you, and we'll see you later.